Hello everyone, it is Elena J. Engel, and today I'm here with part 7 of the series I'm doing, which is unusual names for every letter of the alphabet. And I have already done videos for letters A through F, and I have those in a playlist that I have linked in the description box below, so you can go ahead and watch those if you haven't seen those yet. And today I'm going to be doing G names, and so I'll have 5 names for boys and 5 names for girls that are unusual or unique, and I will do them in alphabetical order, and I'll go ahead and get started with the boy names. The first name I have is Gad. This is a Hebrew name that means good fortune, so wonderful meaning. In the Old Testament in the Bible, Jacob had 12 sons and 1 daughter, and one of the sons he had with Zilpah was named Gad, and there was also a prophet in the Old Testament named Gad as well. This name is definitely super unusual, but it's only 3 letters long and it's phonetic to pronounce, and so it would be very easy to use, and I think it would fit in well with names like Blake and Grant, etc. I also think this would work really great as a middle name since it is 1 syllable. It'll pretty much go with any name that's not 1 syllable as a middle name. The next boy name I have is Gawain. This is a Welsh name that means Mayhawk, which is a super fun meaning, and the name Gavin actually comes from the name Gawain. So if you would like to honor a Gavin, or if you love the name Gavin but want to use something a little less popular, you can consider using Gawain. This is the name of an Arthurian knight of the Round Table, which Gawain totally sounds like a knight name to me, and he was actually in the legend the nephew of Arthur. I have mentioned the name Gawain in one other video that I will link in the description box below as well. The next boy name I have is Giorgio. This is an Italian form of George, which means farmer. This is definitely associated with the high-class name Armani, since Giorgio Armani is the founder of that. And 2 of the band members from the band Walk Off the Earth have a gorgeous little son together named Giorgio, and so that's kind of what's first sparked my interest in this name. This would work really well to honor a George or a Georgia, Georgina, etc. This is one of those names that is definitely familiar with most people but is very underused in the US, and of course Georgie would be a super cute nickname option, or even Geo. The next boy name I have is Given. This is of course an English word that means bestowed as a gift, which is a perfect meaning for a child. This is definitely a namer's name, meaning that I don't really see it in real life, but online when people are talking names I see this name brought up quite a bit. And like I mentioned earlier, Gavin is a super popular name for boys, and so I think Given would definitely work as a less popular alternative to that. Also, like I've been mentioning in most of these videos, names that are 2 syllables ending in N are super in for boys. And on top of that, names that are puritanical and or virtue names are rising in popularity as well. And I do see brought up online a lot, you know, what are your favorite virtue names for boys and girls? And I definitely think this would work. And my last boy name I have is Granger. This is an English occupational name that means farmer. 2 names on this list that mean farmer. And Granger Smith is a young country singer right now who is on the rise in fame, and so that would definitely be a fun, updated association with this. And of course, if you're a Harry Potter fan, Hermione Granger is one of the names of one of the main characters from that series, and she's a great association. This is one of my personal all-time favorite boy G names, and I think that Gray would work as a nickname option for this. And like I mentioned in other videos, names that are occupational names such as Cooper and Parker and Hunter, etc. are very in right now, and so this would definitely fit in well with those names. And on to the girl names. The first girl name I have is the English word gem. This is of course a precious stone. It can also mean beautiful prize or a person held in great esteem. So those are obviously all beautiful meanings. I love how easy this is to spell and pronounce, but it's also obviously extremely rarely used as a name. And the name Gemma is on the rise in popularity for girls in the US and the UK, and so this could work as a less popular alternative to that. I think the name Jewel is maybe a little bit dated, and I think Gem would be a great updated version of Jewel. The next name I have is Ginevra. This is the Italian form of Guinevere, which means juniper, which is really fun. This would be a great unique way to honor a Jennifer. There are loads of Jennifers that are parents, and lots of them are probably becoming grandparents now as well. I think this name is just absolutely beautiful. It has lots of really sweet nickname options like Ever, Evie, Ginny, etc. And of course, this is a Harry Potter name as well. This is Ginny Weasley's full name, and so that's a great association too. The next girl name I have is Gladys. This is a Welsh name that means country. This was actually a top 100 girl name in the US through 1937, but it left the top 1,000 in 1999. Gladys Knight and the Pips is a really great association. That is a singing group from like the 60s and 70s, and I really like some of their songs. And of course, you could use this name to honor a Gladys, since many of them are going to be like in the great-great-grandparents generations now. I love that it has the sound glad in it. I think glad would be a really sweet nickname option for it. This is a very polarizing name. Some people find this name too stuffy, but I actually really think it's light and sweet and would love to see it used. My next girl name I have is Grainne. This is an Irish name that does mean grain. It is the name of the mythological Irish goddess of grain as well. I think this name has a gorgeous sound. It sounds very similar to the beautiful Anya, and there is an Irish singer named Grainne Duffy as well. This would be a name that would take some getting used to as far as spelling, but to me, because of how gorgeous it sounds, it is totally worth it. And the last name I have for this video is Gretl. This is a diminutive of Margaret, which means pearl, so it has a really sweet meaning. I love the fun fairy tale Hansel and Gretel association that could make for a really cool bedroom theme. And of course, in The Sound of Music, the musical, the youngest Von Trapp child is named Gretl, and I absolutely adore that association so much. This name would also work to honor someone named Pearl, because it does mean pearl, and someone whose name is Marjorie or Margaret or Marguerite, etc. And I think this name is super adorable and definitely needs to be discovered. That is it for this video. Thank you again for watching. Please let me know in the comments below what your favorites were of these names and any other unusual or unique G names that you like, and have a great day.